So I'd like to share something with you guys about Juul. So it comes out of Forbes. It's July 18, 2019. It says teens 2 pod a day Juul addiction cause massive stroke, lawsuit says. A Connecticut man is suing Juul Labs for causing him to suffer a massive stroke after he became addicted to the company's products as a teenager. The case marks the first time the e-cigarette company has been sued for a medical issue this severe. Maxwell Berger, 22, developed an addiction to Juul products during the summer of 2015 as he was finishing his last year of high school. By 2017, Berger was taking puffs of his Juul as often as every 10 minutes, causing him to go through 2 cartridges every day. That July, Berger had a massive hemorrhagic, stroke, which required 3 brain surgeries and more than 100 days in the hospital. It left him with catastrophic and permanent injuries such as left side paralysis, speech impairment, and a 50% loss of vision from both sides. Leaf, Cabraser, Hyman, and Bernstein, a San Francisco law firm that's won class action suits against large corporations and big verdicts against tobacco companies, filed the suit in the California Superior Court for the San Francisco County. The firm accused Juul of wrongful conduct that led to Berger's injuries. Specific charges include fraudulent concealment and intentional misrepresentation of the products and their risks, as well as negligence in promoting and selling to young people under the age of 26. Funny thing is, I just did a video of this. Juul, Ken Burns, CEO, he said, "I'm sorry to the parents for addicting them to Juul and all this." And yet he continues to fight these lawsuits. He should automatically settle all these lawsuits if he was really sorry. So it's the way it is. Anyway, and we pretty much know what a Juul device is. It says Juul is currently a defendant on 7 federal cases in Alabama, California, Florida, and New York, 5 of which involve plaintiffs who are teenagers. I just want to give you an idea. Berger is seeking monetary damages to be determined at the trial. Besides federal cases, Juul is also subject to lawsuits in various California state courts, including San Francisco and Los Angeles. Berger's case and additional ones, if they are filed, could be consolidated with these suits and assigned to a single judge. A recent study has linked strokes to e-cigarette use. Researchers from the University of Kansas School of Medicine used data from a Centers for Disease Control and Prevention administered survey of 400,000 individuals and found that compared to non-users, e-cigarette users have a 71% greater risk of stroke. The study comes at a time when scientific findings on e-cigarettes have been highly contentious, much like tobacco studies were in the past. A study that linked vaping to heart attack risk has been the subject of a spat between 2 tobacco researchers, and that was Stanton Glantz versus Brad Radu, R-O-D-U. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. So, so here's this guy, had a 2-pod habit, and he wound up with a massive stroke. And this probably, if it's not settled, it'll go before a jury. And the way things are with Juul, they're going to probably lose all these lawsuits anyway, probably for the most part. And let's say hypothetically, that's an extreme possibility, because I don't believe Juul is going to get approved by the FDA. But let's say an extreme possibility that the Juul is approved to be sold in the U.S. markets and its territories in regards to Judge Grimm's ruling. Believe it or not, even though they would be approved by the FDA, these lawsuits happened before the Juul product was approved by the FDA. And so they continue on. Now, let's say an injury happens after the date that the FDA approved of the Juul product. And someone, let's say hypothetically, the FDA approves of the Juul product in September 5th of 2020. Just the heck of it. Just throw a date out there. Don't hold me to it. And then a particular consumer buys the Juul product on September 20th of 2020. And then on February 1st of 2021, he comes down with ailments of whatever. And then he files a lawsuit. He's probably, he may win, but the probabilities of Juul winning is much better. Because they could say that, well, we'd had PMTAs on this particular product and things of that nature and whatever. And so as far as mitigating circumstances are concerned, Juul will I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying probably they'll have a better chance of winning the lawsuit. But right now, where it stands at, it's Kevin Burns, the CEO of Juul's word against these particular individuals that have filed the lawsuit, plus there's state statutes that are concerned here in regards to consumer protection laws. So in this particular case, it's California state consumer protection laws and misleading and deceptive advertising practices, marketing practices in the marketplace, things of that nature. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with Juul. Eventually, one of these lawsuits probably either settle out, or if it goes to trial, probably in the current way of things, Juul loses. That'd be a rather interesting case to read, actually, as far as the outcome of that particular case, because I'm sure it's going to go before a jury. Anyway, I just want to share this with you. Keep you up to date with all this stuff going on. You guys have a good one. Bye.